Welcome to the Sports for Dummies podcast. Every single week, I am joined by sports guru Lewis Pearce, who teaches us about all things sports. Me, myself and I, am the sports dummy. My name's Hope Ellen, and I ask the questions that you may be too afraid to ask your friends when they're chatting about football. Let's have a little say hello to Lewis.
That was strong, blimey. It was so good. You made yourself laugh. Hello, Hope. I am very well, thanks. How are you?
No, I was doing well, and I just lost it at the end. That's why I laughed. Yes, I'm very well. It's the weird period between Christmas and New Year's, and you said you were going to have a name for it. So what have you come up with?
I think we just need to call this period, it should just be like a long Sunday, because it is just a continual day. Like, it doesn't change. This is the thing. People keep saying to me, oh, what are you doing on Friday? And it's like, I don't know. People need to give me dates. The thing about this time of year, Hope, is I haven't got a flipping clue what day of the week it is. This is the issue. People going, oh, you ran on Monday. And it's like, was that yesterday or tomorrow? Or was that today? Am I going to be today? This is the problem. So I'm going to refer to it, I think, as just a continual Sunday, because until we get to January 1st, no one knows what day of the week it is.
No, I mean, I'm a bit disappointed that you haven't come up with a special word. But I do agree with what you're saying. I mean, I agreed to babysit on Wednesday, and then I made plans on Wednesday because I didn't realise that Wednesday was Wednesday. So I had the same situation. But yeah, we're here now, and today is Thursday.
It is Thursday. It is indeed Thursday. The 29th of December. Wait, so we're in the middle. We literally slap bang in the middle of New Year's Day and Christmas Day. So, for those listening, we hope you had a nice Christmas, and by the time this probably comes out, have a lovely Happy New Year as well. I know we did a little Christmas special episode. Make sure to listen to that if you haven't listened already. But today we're talking, Hope, about 3, I would say, interesting stories. We've got some unique stories today. We're going a bit more low-key. Now, the first we're going to start with, the first thing I'm going to say before we get actually going is, what are your plans, Hope, for the big NYE? Because people like doing different things. Some people have traditions. Some people do absolutely nada. What are you up to?
This is a bit depressing, but I think I'm in the nada category. Not my doing, I will say. Because me and my mum had an idea that I would invite my friend Jason round. And she would invite her friend Richard round. And that we'd all have a bit of cheese and wine with mum and dad as well. Because we're all quite mature, right? Yeah. But dad was like, I don't know about that. And then we were like, all right, well, if we're not doing that, can we go to the pub? He was like, oh, I don't know about that. So I'm like, well, you've ruined the plans. So thanks, Dad. Sucks. So it's probably going to end up being just a normal day. But that's fine. Yeah, it's a space-time continuum.
A space-time continuum that ongoing for the particles in the atmosphere that don't stop. Sorry?
I don't know what that means. I just thought it sounded clever then for a minute.
Anyone that's new to the podcast, Hope says things that are very big brain, but then sometimes don't come out as how she hopes. So the delivery is strong and the words are good, but it's space-time continuum.
Do you know what? It's all about confidence. That's what life's all about. You can be, a fool, but mask it well with strong emphasis.
And words. But no, Hope, do you know what? That's all right. In some years, actually, it's nice to have a relaxed New Year's Eve. The darts will be on. You can watch that if you've got nothing to do. To be fair, though, I would say for me, New Year's Eve is one of the weird days where it goes one of two ways. Either it's loads of fun, and for me anyway, this is the thing I'd say, I've never understood people that just stay up into New Year's Day. I always like going to sleep. You see the fireworks, whatever, great, woohoo, whoop-de-doo, bedtime. You know, I've never got, like, let's stay out till 5 a.m. because it's like, then you're ruined for New Year's Day, and then the second when everything starts getting going again, you're in the bin. So it's
no, I can't do that on any occasion. Like,
no, exactly.
No, I mean 2 a.m. sometimes with the boxing. If I go to a show, that's about as late as it gets. I'm not doing it. Being out until the lights come on. I'm not going home when the sun's coming up. I like my sleep. In fact, Lewis, I've been going to bed at 9 o'clock recently.
I am impressed. 9 o'clock.
I mean, this happened like 3 days on the bounce when I was working. It hasn't happened since Christmas, so it's probably going to be very difficult to get back into.
So there's the point then, there you go. Well, look, that sounds all right, and I hope you have a happy New Year's
What are you doing?
So I'm going with some friends. Actually, this should be quite nice. I was rubbing it in, but actually it'll be, I'm not like, oh, yeah. I've just got a nice little relaxed social gathering with some mates I haven't seen in a while, which would be lovely. So there'll be a couple of us at my friend's house down in sort of towards Surrey, which would be lovely. And then on New Year's Day, me and my family are going to Rome away for a couple of days, which is fun.
Oh my goodness. So this is what you were talking about off recording.
Yes. So we're going to. Well, actually, we're not. We're doing a bit of an adventure in that we're going to Pisa first to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa for a day, and then we're going to Rome. And the fun thing to relate it to sports, as always, because I love traveling the world and seeing football grounds. On Wednesday, the 4th of Jan, which is the only day that I can remember in that week. Yes.
My birthday.
Oh, well, I'm going to see AS Roma play, so I'm looking forward to it. So that'll be class. So there you go. Happy birthday for them as well. I'll have to bring you back.
Well, don't make any promises, Lewis.
No, I was thinking. I'll have to get some funny souvenir in some way for Rome because Rome is. Look,
a bit of tat. I don't think I need a bit of tat in my life.
So miserable, honestly. So, like, you're
just send me a selfie of your lovely face. That'll be more than enough.
You one of those people where you get a Christmas present and you're like, there's that meme of that guy, we'll have to insert it, and he goes, oh yeah, that's wicked. He doesn't mean it at all. It's like that. It's like, oh, cheers for the new pencil and
no, I'm good at receiving gifts.
How are you?
Yeah.
It's like as if it's a skill. I'm great at receiving things from people that give it to me for free.
You joke. It is a skill. Some people are really bad at it. My dad is very bad at receiving gifts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on the gift. Like for some things, for me, if they're given with real love and you can tell someone's thought about it, it really means a lot to me. Whereas if people just pick any old thing, I'm like, well, obviously it's great, but I know what you mean. It's all when you give someone something, they're like, cheers.
Well, the thing is, as an adult, you find that you get things that you don't really want. You wouldn't have bought yourself because if you're an adult, you've got money, you buy what you want, and then you feel bad about throwing it out.
Hope this is the thing this year for Christmas. when like it was funny, we actually met with some cousins saying that, and they're similar age, and they were like, "Oh, what have you asked for Christmas?" And I said, "Absolutely nothing." And do you know what I got? I got like the IKEA bags you get from like the big blue ones you chuck your stuff in.
For your washing.
I've basically got it's called like half the size of that. IKEA did a collab with Swedish House Mafia. We'll have to post a photo on it, and it's all black. And I basically got a shopping bag. That is the best flipping gift ever. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I don't need any more. Oh, Gucci top or flip flop. Boring. Like, you want practical stuff.
Gucci top and flip flops.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not being ungrateful, obviously. The more gifts, the merrier. But I don't need any more key rings. Do you know what I mean? Put me on holiday, but have a lovely time. So who's going? You, your mum, your dad,
and Daisy. That's the plan. Yeah, that's 4. So it should be cool to be fair. But I hope we're going to move from Europe over to North America for story number 1, and we're talking about the GOAT. Well, one of the GOATs of basketball. We're talking about Mr.
LeBron James.
LeBron James, of course we are. Hey, and hope. Why is that?
Because he's great.
I mean, he is great.
He's tall. He's in films like Space Jam, and he plays on Christmas Day, and he's old.
Hope saying that this is the thing. His birthday's actually Friday, so not that far away from you. So there you go. So this is the point, Hope. LeBron. Now, there's been some news come out about LeBron because obviously, as I said, at the time of recording, his birthday is tomorrow. So for when this comes out, happy belated birthday, LeBron.
His birthday is on the 20th and 30th.
30 because 29th day. Yes, 30th. So the Los Angeles Lakers, LA Lakers, who he plays for, lost to the Miami Heat, my team, last night. They lost 112-98. Now, Hope, LeBron aged, which is quite a beating, I will add. It's not that's not a good. Like,
hence my face.
Yeah, exactly. That's bad. So I mean, it's by 14, which in basketball can be quick to score, but this game was never going to this game was never going to go LA's way. But anyway, LeBron, despite the team's performance, dropped 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Hope he's 38 tomorrow. So he'd been 38 2 days ago at the time of playing. He is unbelievable. Anyway, the game finishes. Obviously, LA lose. And the media start asking him questions, as they do with most athletes that are getting to that stage in their life, their career, where people are going, right, you've got to start thinking about if you've thought about hanging the gloves or in this case, it'll be the shoes up in basketball. So LeBron's come out and said, I want to still be able to compete for championships because I know what I can still bring to any ball club with the right pieces. Although he then goes on to kind of contradict himself or sort of add and say, basically, although I think about my son graduating high school soon and going off to college and I'm still playing and my youngest son will be in junior next year and how much more time I'll miss. So the point is, he's basically said that he's weighing up at the moment what he's going to do because obviously he's getting to that age where his kids are now getting old. His sons are getting to an age where they're getting to that top basketball level, as in they're growing and growing in the basketball field. And sooner than he knows it, they are likely to be playing in the NBA. So the point is, more than anything, to kind of come back to that, and this is kind of a double-edged sword, which I'll explain. The other thing to think about, Hope, is the fact that the LA Lakers aren't doing well, which we'll get onto in a minute. But there's kind of this double-edged sword where not only LA have been awful this year, LeBron's been carrying the team. He's the glue. He's always been the glue in that team, but especially this season, without him, they would probably be rock bottom, I'd argue. They have been so poor. So, Hope, what do you make of that? What do you think about him getting older and playing?
Well, he's probably not only thinking about his sons getting into basketball and getting to a level or maybe facing them. He's probably thinking about the time he's going to miss being away from his family, which he already has missed, which is a huge sacrifice, because if you have children, they do, and I've not got children, but based on my friends' kids or my nieces and nephew, they grow so fast, and you can literally blink and they've gone from a newborn to an 8-year-old kid. And it's like, when did that happen? Yeah. So, and you're never going to get that time back, and family is the most important thing. But on the flip side of that, you would never want to look back and think that was not the time for me to retire because I could have done more, and then you're not able to. Nor would your children want you to be giving up what you love doing because of them. And also, I know in boxing it's a big thing. A lot of the time when athletes stop doing what they do, stop doing their sport, if they do retire, they really struggle with their mental health. They have no purpose. They really do struggle to find themselves. So actually, would you be a better father if you stop doing the thing that gives you purpose? So that's my thoughts on it, Lewis.
No, but this is good. But that was great, and it's great. You covered so many bases there. But you're right. That's the thing. It's not as simple as going yes or no. And the fact is, LeBron is playing some of the best basketball of his life. Of course, he's not the player he once was. As in he is one of the greatest players for me in my lifetime. Apart from Steph Curry and Kobe Bryant, he's the greatest big man that I think I will ever watch. In the last 8 games, he's only missed 1 due to injury, and he has been the top scorer in 7 of those 8. Now, currently, Hope, in the NBA, his stats this season, bearing in mind, he's about to turn 38. He's scored 27.8 points per game, which is just, so call it 28 points per game, and he's played 35 minutes out of 48 each match, which for a 38-year-old is basically he you know how people always say if we bring it back to football, for people that might understand football more, people often talk about Ronaldo's physique and Ronaldo being this guy that's like superhuman because he's so athletic and fit despite being 36, 37. Same thing with LeBron. People cannot believe he is so able at that age. And the point is, now, there's been some rumours about this and about the whole reason, which again, Hope we can kind of dig into and we can mull over, because we've spoken about the family aspect, but there is also an aspect to talk about the LA Lakers playing poorly. So actually him kind of making this point of, I don't know if I'm going to be playing and bloody blah. Actually, is this a way of him pushing the front office, as in the managers, to make some signings, make some trades? Because the issue at the moment is their team, to be honest, is crap. And I don't mean as in they actually have some very good players. They've got another star called Anthony Davis. He's a great player, but again, very injury prone. And currently, LA, at the time of recording, have played 35 games, and they are 14-21. So they are negative. They've lost 5. Sorry, it's their 5th loss in 6 matches. So they've lost 5 out of 6, which is terrible. And on top of that, they're 13th in the West table. So in NBA, as we've maybe discussed before for sports, that means people that might not necessarily have heard that episode, and NBA split a bit like for England, say, in North and South. In America, it's East and West. You've got the East table and the West table. Out of a possible 15 teams, LA are 13th. And normally, LA would be in the top 4. To give some context, they would be pushing for being right up there. They wouldn't be in this position.
Yeah, it's the purple team.
Well, purple and yellow.
Yeah, but purple and yellow, they are like a famous team.
Yeah, they are. I mean, if you ever ask someone about basketball, the three teams people will name straight away are, I think,
Bengals.
It's probably because they played the NFL, so probably not.
Oh.
It's the wrong ball. I mean, it's nearly there. It's America,
sport.
But wrong sport completely.
Lakers.
Do you think you can name them? Go on, 3. So we've got Lakers. Who are the other 2?
Miami Heat.
No.
Cleveland.
No. Michael Jordan. The Windy City.
I have no idea. That's not helping.
Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
And then
why is it windy?
The third one, What's set? Oh goodness, there's a film that's set there. People going, welcome to. I don't know. We're going, welcome to
the Windy City.
No, Boston. It was going to be Boston. We're going to Boston. Boston Celtics was the third anyway.
See, I'm not great at this. Can I just ask quickly? Just
yes.
Rewind. This Anthony guy, why is he injury prone?
Because he's so tall. He's like 7 foot. I think he's 7'1", and when he's fit, he's a monster. But he's one of those guys where consistently, every season there's a big injury. It doesn't matter when. So he's been out for, I believe he had an ankle issue.
Lanky Lankerson.
Lanky Lankerson.
Honestly.
So yeah, though, you wouldn't say that to his face because he could literally, he is enormous.
I would say it to his face. I'd say, "Oh, you're really cute and Lanky Lankerson."
Yeah, he probably like you because you're English as well. That might you probably say. Anyway, let's stop talking about Anthony Davis.
That's how I get him. You see, smooth.
You're so beautiful and lanky. Please, I
wouldn't say please love me. Not that. Only on the second date I'd say that.
Oh, sorry. Right,
get it right. God.
There you go. I wouldn't know what
I want your babies. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
But yeah, so the point is, LeBron Hope is he's a winner. He's a born winner. He is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. So it will be interesting to see what happens. Now, on his current contract for LA, he's got 2 years left, $97 million deal. And but the fact is, because he is LeBron, he can basically make a trade at any time. As in, if he turns around, a bit like what Ronaldo's done, right? So Ronaldo's come out and said, I'm done with Man United, I'm off. No one wants him. If LeBron turned around and said, I'm leaving LA now, pretty much every team in the NBA would snap him up, maybe bar 3 or 4, say.
But even if he weren't doing basketball anymore, he'd still have brand deals coming out of his ears.
Well, this is the point. You were saying about that. So when he goes on, you're right, Hope. A lot of people, when they finish sports, especially I would say that we've seen in modern day football, there's been a lot of cases of ex-players and people like that really struggling with mental health. Now, in truth, I don't know a lot about the mental health side of things from a basketball perspective, but from what I do know, pretty much all basketballers that finish playing in the NBA go on to either coaching, punditry. LeBron's the sort of guy where there was a lot of rumors that again, this might get a bit complicated, but it'll make sense. LeBron, and we're going to do it. Yeah, we'll do it sports and dummies terms though. So LeBron has an investment, a stake in Liverpool. He's got it's a 1 or 10% share. I can't remember. We'll cut it either way. It's a 1% share, 10% share, and he is basically good friends with our owners who are called FSG, Fenway Sports Group. Now, there was a rumor that they were looking at spending $4 billion to start a basketball team in Las Vegas. So I wonder if that does actually happen, whether that will actually take shape in some capacity. But the point is, like you've said, Hope, regardless of any of those things, for me personally, I think LeBron will actually try and play until he's about 40. I mean, I want to say probably mid-40s, because he's always spoken about playing with his son, not only. On top of that, there are lots of rumors that often come out of the camps, sort of as in basketball camps with him in, where people say that he looks at someone like Tom Brady, who's an NFL player, and he's now 45, one of the greatest players of all time, still playing. There's rumors that say LeBron looks at him and goes, I want to create that legacy in basketball, because very rarely, that's pretty much never happened. You've never seen a player go till they're 43, 44, 45 in the NBA.
Yeah, but I think even if LeBron James stops now, he'd still create a legacy.
Of course, but I think he wants to. I think the truth of him is hope about him. He wants to go above and beyond that legacy. He wants to become the player that beats, because there's throughout his life, and there forever will be the argument of LeBron versus Michael Jordan, LeBron versus this, LeBron versus, and it's like, I think actually by him turning around and saying, no, I'm playing till I'm 43, call it, and he can drop 20 points when he's 43. Then there's no argument. People can't say, well, because Michael Jordan didn't do that. Larry Bird, like these legends of the game haven't done that. So we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that's news about LeBron. So we wish him all the best for the season. We'll have to wait and see what happens to the Lakers, because they are absolutely plummeting.
Right, few things here. I'm going to get my notebook in a minute, because I keep thinking of things and I don't want to forget them. First and foremost, I don't like it when media start asking people when they're going to retire. It's not up to media to decide or start saying that stuff. It's up to the professional to declare that when they feel. So let's put a vow out as media. Let's not do that anymore. Thank you. Secondly, if there's a new team in Vegas, what should it be called? Because I've got a name.
The Las Vegas ventriloquist. I don't know. What would you call them?
Vegas Venom.
That's quite strong, actually.
That is good.
I like that.
And the logo can be a snake, like... Well, let us know what you think. sportsdummiespodcast@gmail.com or slide into our DMs. Okay, moving on to number 2, Lewis.
Right, Hope. So we're talking about 2 people that we speak often about. Now, this story made me laugh there because I think it is... I just don't understand, but we're gonna go into it. We're gonna talk about it. So,
I've got a feeling about who you're going to talk about.
Who are we talking about?
Jake Paul.
Nearly, not Jake Paul, but nearly Jake Paul. Now, shoppers were queued outside Hope of Aldi today from 6 a.m. and the queues were all the way around the block, nationwide, up and down the country, in hope to buy Prime energy
drink.
Now,
man, I mean, you can't floor Logan Paul and KSI's ability to market, but oh my gosh, if my kid was like, Mummy, I'm going to go stand outside Aldi to get some energy drink, I'd say, no, you ain't.
Hope. I'm absolutely shocked. So, of course, for those that don't know, we'll give some context. Sports and Dummies, as always. Now, Prime Energy was made by YouTubers Logan Paul and KSI. Now, they've also done boxing. For those that don't necessarily know, they've done previous boxing fights. KSI is also a rapper and a singer and stuff. Logan Paul, don't really know because I don't really care. They've got Prime Energy have got 1.3 million followers on Instagram, and the hashtag Prime Hydration has been viewed on TikTok over 421 million times. Now, to give some context about this story for those that are going, what the flip is Prime Energy and why is this relevant to me?
What is up with the young generation?
No, it is ridiculous. So, for those that don't know, Prime Energy was a drink that they've made, and they're promoting it, which we're going to talk about in a minute, because actually, I've had Prime Hope, so I'm going to give you a full insight.
As have I. By the way,
there you go. Right, see, so we can talk all about it. So, so the stock was limited availability. That's the whole point. So it's a bit like an exclusive brand. You have to buy it really quickly or it goes. Now, until now, Asda was basically one of the only major supermarkets in the UK that they were selling the drink at. But now, of course, Aldi have announced they're selling the drink, and in a statement, they said the viral hydration drink created by 2 popular YouTubers, KSI and Logan Paul, is available to buy for £1.99 in Aldi stores nationwide on December 29th. The drink will be a special buy, and as with all special buys, once they're gone, they're gone. Hope, what are your thoughts?
Okay, I've got a few bullet points I've written down here.
Go on, talk to me.
$1.99 per drink.
$1.99. 199p, just shy of 200p, £2. Ridiculous.
Secondly, it says all this stuff about it being natural and natural flavours. I don't think it is. Because if you've ever had one, it doesn't taste natural one bit.
No.
Second bullet point I've got here. We mentioned that we've tried it.
Yes.
I was at KSI. No, KSI wasn't fighting. Deji was fighting.
Oh, was that? Yeah, the OVO, wherever it was, yeah.
Yeah, OVO. He's also fighting next month.
Okay.
I think. Anyway, Deji, not actually a nice guy. I have interviewed him and he was actually really nice. Oh. So I shouldn't be nasty. But anyway, they were giving out Prime. And I got Lewis, because all my little gang who I was with, I probably wouldn't have paid for one, but because they were free, I was like, oh, I want one to try it.
Yeah.
So I was marketed. Last bullet point, Tyson Fury's also got a drink out called Ferocity.
There are quite a few people that are trying to make drinks. Apparently Paddy the Baddie's made a drink as well. They're all trying to compete with Logan Paul, which is funny because imagine 5 years ago saying KSI and Logan Paul are going to collab and make a drink that sells out like worldwide. People would have laughed in their faces. And it's amazing. Their marketing scheme has been great. Hope, I'm going to ask quickly. So for those listening to give some more context, they're selling 3 flavours in the UK: blue raspberry, lemon and lime, and ice pop. Now, I've had none of those flavours, but we're going to come on to that in just a sec. So the drink is made up of supposedly 10% coconut water. It contains electrolytes and vitamins. It's got 0 sugar, and it's 20 calories per bottle. Now, Hope, what flavour did you try?
Oh, I don't know.
What colour was it?
It might have been ice one.
Was it a white bottle?
Yeah.
I think that's the ice.
I think so.
That's ice pop.
Didn't rate it. It didn't taste.
Oh, no.
It was weird because it's not fizzy.
No, I know that's the. It looks fizzy, doesn't it?
And you think it's going to be fizzy, and then it's not, and it's like, where on earth is the bubbles?
Hope, I actually don't think that's the one you're talking about. I think
the
flavour.
I don't know what it was.
Is the moon? It's this one, isn't it?
I just remember. Possibly. To be honest, Lewis, I can't remember. All I know is that I was like, well, I'm never going to have that again.
If it was that one, it was Meta Moon. I hope I had... So this was actually back in New York. This was when the whole thing blew up, like massively. The craze was
You
massive.
were at the centre of it.
I'm not joking. For fun, because everyone had bigged it up. In New York, we spent not 2 hours, wasn't it? Maybe 30 minutes to an hour walking from different... Because, well, we were doing shopping anyway, but if there was a store nearby, we'd pop in. Anyway, in a random supermarket in the middle of nowhere, they were stocking Prime. So we bought the flavour. We had the orange flavour. And the thing is, I would say the truth is, it's not the worst. It's not the worst energy drink I've had, because this is the thing that I find difficult about this. They claim it's a hydration drink and it's made for boxing, which is why this is relevant to Sports for Dummies, because they claim it's a sports drink. Now, I think more than anything, at the end of the day, it's just a sweet drink they're trying to get kids hooked on so they can make loads of money. That's the whole point of it. Having that orange drink, this is how I'd explain it. If you imagine Lucozade, right, and the flavour of like the Lucozade, and then you know the fizzy orange one that they have in the
that's gross.
Right,
it smells like pus.
Hope I'm not bantering. The drink that we had was sweeter than that, and the weird thing is the bottles aren't that big, so I think I got about halfway down, or like halfway through it. I had to tip the rest. I couldn't. It's the sort of drink that I could have as a half, as like a quick shot of energy, and no more. It literally tasted of pure sugar. There's no flavour to it at all. It's like it was this horrible orange flavour, and all of us said that. None of us enjoyed it. And from what I hear from people that have had more flavours of Prime, there's like, I believe that there's a grape one that's supposed to be lovely. Blue raspberry is supposed to be quite nice, but I don't get it. Anyway,
it was grape that I had.
Grape was purple.
Oh, I don't know. all I know is that it was not that cracky.
No.
I saw a video, I can't remember if it was on Lad Bible, of Chris Eubank Jr. And you know when they get people to eat like different snacks?
Yes.
Like US versus UK snacks. Well, he had some of the Prime drink and he read it and was like, oh, this is thinking. I mean, he's so annoying, Chris Eubank Jr. Like, I after the Conor Ben fiasco, I kind of was like, oh yeah, I rate him. He's handled it well. And now I'm just like, you're really annoying. Anyway, he's Marmite character, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the fact that he had some Prime and he read it and it said no sugar, blah, blah, blah. He drank it and went, there is definitely sugar in that.
Shape. Apparently these are sold out everywhere. I don't know how a drink sells out, but I don't know. It's very sweet. It says naturally flavored. I mean, the balls these guys have to put that on this drink is just there's nothing natural about this. It doesn't taste bad, but it's definitely it's not a natural flavored drink. 10% coconut water. Okay.
He was like, there's no way that is that. Also, I said no, by the way, when you said about the 30 minutes, because I thought you were going to say you queued for 30 minutes to get
no.
That's why I went no like that.
Absolutely not. No. To be fair, we popped into a couple of stores and it was in the US, it was all sold out. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, as I said, there were hundreds of people up and down the country waiting at Aldi, and I'm sure they've all sold out already. But yeah, we'll have to see, because I think it's one of those things, Hope, where once they bring it out in terms of there's constant stock, the trend will just disappear. It will disintegrate. The reason why it's so popular is because it's so hard to get your hands on, even if it tastes horrible. That's the thing, because it drums up interest, even if you stand for half an hour. But this is the thing. Then there were some things that came out on different social media pages where, there was an Aldi, I believe it was up north, I can't remember where, that people were fighting over, like people actually had a physical punch up to get, and it's like, you just couldn't make it up. I get, and again, I'm not saying fighting for 1 minute, it makes sense, because
that's happened over toilet rolls in the past, Lewis. There was no YouTubers involved in that.
It's very true.
Hell, man. You're only allowed one bottle of each, by the way. Who took them out of your hat? You're taking fucking 4 or 5 bottles, you idiots. Excuse me. Where are you taking one of your hat? I didn't give you that. I gave you one of each flavor.
People need to just relax. So the point is, all I'm going to say, congratulations. And fair play to Logan Paul and KSI, because not only probably they're making stacks of money, but it's also very impressive that they've managed to market this so well. But in the grand scheme, the drink's horrible, and I wouldn't buy it.
I want to say big up Aldi for getting on the trend. Aldi is where it's at, by the way. Aldi knows.
Aldi. See, they know. That's why they're getting on it. Aldi and Asda, the A's.
Fun fact about Aldi.
Yes.
Aldi and Lidl, are actually owned by brothers.
Yeah, that's why.
German brothers.
Oh, I heard something.
Don't pretend you knew that.
No, I did. All right, you know what? I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to say my fact because clearly yours was better, so I won't bother.
Go on, tell me your fact.
No, I can't remember. Genuinely, I lost my train of thought when I got.
Oh, so act like it was my fault for being mean. Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Sorry, SpongeBob. Right, anyway, moving on. There we go. We'll leave energy drinks there. We're moving on to, I think, one of the most bizarre stories I've ever heard in the world of football. We're going on story number 3, and we're talking, and I'd be surprised if you know about this, but we'll have to wait and see. We're talking about Crawley Town Football Club.
Don't think it rings a bell.
Okay. Well, this was news that broke actually on Thursday, 29th of December at the time of recording.
Breaking news.
Their manager, Matthew Etherington, who is now the former manager, has just been sacked by US owners after only 32 days in charge.
Why did they sack him?
Well, this is the point we're going to get onto. So he was in charge.
Sorry.
It's like when people like
that's the whole point of the story.
So you open a Christmas cracker and you go and you're like, oh, here's the joke. And, oh, what's the joke? It's like, well, we're getting to got to build it up, drum up the excitement of the listeners.
Enough of the faff. Come on.
Oh,
spit it out.
All right, I'm going to spit it out. So he was in charge of 3 games at the club. Now, the first game...
Is that it?
No, listen. The first game, they beat Swindon 2-0, and then they lost 2 on the bounce. They lost 2-0 to Hartlepool and 2-1 to Sutton. Both of those games were at home. Anyway, the owners made a comment and basically have said, Chris Galley, his name, is the director of football and CEO. They've said it has become clear that this partnership is not the right fit to carry this club forward and achieve our goals. And just a month before, Mr. Chris Galley said, in a generic statement of hope and blah, 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 is all they do for all the managers. We're great to have the person here and we can't wait. He basically said, I'm confident that Matthew and Simon, manager and assistant manager, are the right people to ensure that happens. And what they mean by that happens is that the club progress on forwards and into the future. Obviously, that didn't happen. Now, the owners are called, I think this is ridiculous, they're called WAGMI United, as in WAGMI capitals. And what that stands for is We All Gonna Make It. And it's a crypto investment group from America. Now, they took charge in April and they pledged to the fans at the time they wanted to shake up the status quo, try out some new ideas, and build a worldwide community of fans. And in the time hope that they've been managing the club, there have been 3 managers since April, which in the grand scheme is terrible. Now, I'm going to stop ranting a minute. I'm going to let you speak, but I'm going to rattle through all the facts and then we can have a full-on...
I know, but I just can't go over the WAGMI thing.
WAGMI, yeah? Do you like that? WAGMI?
We all gonna make it. We all gonna make it.
Crypto. We all gonna make it.
That's horrid.
We'll let the crypto boys.
We are all going to make it.
But we're all gonna make it. We're all gonna make it. Yeah, so to give some context, so since then they've had 2 managers. One manager, and again, I won't give the ins and outs because this story is specifically about Etherington, the man that's just got sacked. But if you want to do more research, look into it. They have had 2 managers in that time, one of which got basically, I believe he resigned or he was sacked after there was some racial abuse. He was involved in a racist incident. I can't remember what that is, so I'm not going to comment anymore because I don't know the ins and outs.
As in, he was involved in the racism, or someone was racist to him?
The manager was involved, as in he was part of something.
Well, good riddance.
The second manager came in, didn't do well, and now obviously was sacked. For then Mr. Etherington to come in to take the reins, and obviously hasn't worked out. So the funny thing, Hope, is that the announcement, this all happened in Crawley Town in the space of 24 hours. Crawley Town Football Club basically kind of, I wouldn't say fell on their feet, but I'm going to ask before we get into all that stuff, Hope, what are your thoughts so far?
My thoughts so far is I think something's happening behind the scenes. I don't think they're sacking these managers, or I don't think they're sacking this manager because of the score. I think it's something behind the scenes. I think they don't get on with them. And I reckon it's Wagner's fault. WAGMI.
Well, this is the interesting thing, right? Because as I said, over 24 hours, so on Wednesday the 27th, there was a massive story that came out of Crawley Town Football Club, and a story that I wasn't expecting. So Crawley sold their star striker, Tom Nichols, to League 2 rivals Gillingham. So...
Can I just say?
Yes.
I wrote down Gillingham to bring it up in a minute.
Oh, did you? How did you know about that?
My granddad was a big Gillingham supporter.
And so, wait, and so you know...
So I know that Gillingham has just been bought by US people.
Oh, Oh, there you go. Okay.
Because my uncle came round the other day and was telling my mum.
Oh wow. Okay, there you go. So there's the answer. So Tom Nichols was bought. There you go. Up the Jills.
Up the Jills.
Away.
My granddad used to have a hat saying "Jill, I am."
That's quite
Rest in peace,
good.
Sydney. Love you. Right, carry on.
Yes, so Crawley Town sold their star to Tom Nichols, who's basically he scored the majority of goals this season for them, to Gillingham. Now, shortly afterward, there was this rumour that went round, and again, I don't know how true this was, but there was a lot of talk on social media. Apparently, the entire Crawley Town squad were listed on the transfer list, as in every single player at Crawley Town were put up on the market, because there's, there's not necessarily an online market where players go, but it's kind of a known, not a forum. But anyway, they were all kind of up for sale. That was the point. Now, this was blamed by the owners on trialing some new software surrounding transfers. Now, to me, if you breathe it in, there's something proper fishy going on there. So the answer is, I reckon they had some sort of fault.
And to clarify, I'm not recording this with Lewis in his room.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was one of those evil laughs.
Sorry, carry on. Get back on track. Woo!
I suspect that WAGME, something went wrong for them, which was a bit funny. Now, the interesting thing, Hope, about this whole story is that, it's clear for Etherington. It's disappointing. Losing 2 on the bounce is a shame. But my bet is there's got to be something that happens behind the scenes here. Now, the point is, they're 20th in the table. They're 6 points off relegation. So that they're like clawing on. They're still clear, though, but they're clawing on. But the reaction on social media from the fans, because often that's a telling sign, how the close fans react and media people that work for the club says a lot. And I have never seen outrage at a manager getting sacked like I have for this. The people were absolutely fuming. And the funniest tweet of all, Crawley striker, who is called Kwesi Appiah, he's currently on loan at Colchester. He put a tweet out and responded to the tweet saying, "Wait, what? Surely been hacked? As in, surely Crawley Town have got this completely wrong and someone's hacked into the thing." Because the man was in charge for 32 days.
You can't make any progress in 32 days. If it was based on him not making progress, I don't think it was.
No, but this is the thing, Hope. Even in that time, yes, they may have sold the star striker. But from what I understand, it wasn't actually Etherington's doing. From the striker had come out and has basically said in an interview afterwards, he was told one day he was going to Gillingham and that was it, and that was done. He can't play now until he's signed for them. So the whole story is interesting. So it'll be interesting to see more than anything who they appoint next, how the person gets on, and if there's any more outrage, because I'm sure that Etherington in some capacity at some point will come out and say what actually happened. No manager like that will ever sit down unless it was off his back, unless it was something that he did that was wrong, as in, let's say there was a terrible incident with him involving someone else where he verbally abused somebody or something like that. I get it. Maybe they wanted to cover that up. But apart from a very, very extreme incident, I can't see any reason other than the owners just trying to be a bit edgy as to why they would sack him.
So to be clear, have they sacked him on the grounds of he got rid of their striker?
No, the point is
that's just a separate part of the puzzle.
That's a whole separate thing.
Right, I thought that was a separate part of the puzzle, but I just wanted to clarify. This all sounds like an episode of your favourite show, Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
it does.
Do you know what? It probably would fit. That'd fit the narrative quite well. It actually would. You're right.
I have a sneaky little suspicion here that WAGME is WAGME. Sorry, let me write that down. WAGME. WAGME sounds a little bit better.
It does. WAGME's weird.
I feel like WAGME, somewhere along the line, is connected to the new owners of Gillingham.
Hope you might be right. Truthfully, I don't know who the Gillingham owners are, but you don't know. Now, it's funny.
All I know is that they've done a video and they said, "We're so excited to go to Gillingham."
Gillingham. Yeah, it would have been that, of course. Yeah. I don't know. I think the whole thing's very strange. All I know about Crawley, all I know about Crawley Town is it's not that far from Gatwick Airport. Before that, now we've learned that they've had 3 managers since April, one of which has only lasted 32 days. The star striker's been sold. And interestingly as well, I believe if I'm not mistaken, we can insert a photo. On the front of their shirt, they have a crypto logo. So it's something like if you hold your phone up close to it or one of the badges, you get a QR that then leads you on to a website for crypto. I'll have to look into that if that's true. And we can.
Who's going to get close enough to a player to scan the bleeding thing.
You can buy the shirt yourself, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to get on the pitch and
go to JD.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't know if that'll be in JD. Anyway, what do you think about people in crypto getting involved in this space? Because I kind of feel like, get out. You don't know a lot about football, clearly.
I hope it's a difficult one, because the truth is, right, and this is the honest fact, a lot of businessmen that enter the world of football aren't of a footballing background. Lots of people that you see that invest in football as an example, American owners, right? Let's take the American sporting world. Now, chances are, if they're sport fans, they probably grew up playing baseball, NFL, basketball, maybe ice hockey at a push. Soccer, football would not have been probably high up on that list. There's the odd person, obviously, but say back in the 90s, 2000s, football was nowhere near as big as in the US as it is now. So in my opinion, I think anyone can get involved in football. I think anyone should be allowed to, whatever business you come from, however you've made your money. But I think the truth is, I think your intentions have to be right. And I think as an owner, you are liable. And this is the point I'm going to make. You are liable that your decisions you make impact the fans. You impact people that go to the games week in, week out, that spend their hard-earned money every single week on the football, either traveling at home going at home or traveling away. And my difficulty is, as an example, these owners have come in and they've said, no, we're for the fans. And something they've said actually is that the second year in charge, the fans are allowed, as in like they're on like a board, say the fan board people that they got, like their little association, where the fans can make comments and suggestions to the owners and that sort of thing. They have basically come out and said, a bit like what Elon Musk is doing on Twitter, for those that may not know. Elon's put out Twitter polls saying, do you want me in charge of Twitter? Yes or no? Same thing. So these owners have said, at the end of year...
What is that poll looking like, by the way, at the moment?
He lost. I believe he lost. So when it said should he be in charge of, yeah. So no. So there's one as an example.
Get in the bin.
Get in the bin. These owners have said the same thing in year 2. So that'll be April 2024, call it, or May 2024. At that point, the fans will then have their say on what they like of the CEO, what they think of the owners, as in the directors, all those sort of people. So my thought is, in my opinion, I think you need to have the right heart. And I believe there should be a governing body doesn't work and a space doesn't work. But I think you should be able to prove you are actually invested and interested in football. Like, you look at so many owners that come in and ruin football clubs because they just don't care. They buy a football club, they take it on, they spend no money, the club blows into smithereens. In this case, Crawley Town won't. They've spent money. But as an example, how is it that a manager lasts 32 days, you sell your star striker, and your entire team are listed on the transfer list within 24 hours? That, to me, there's something in there that doesn't feel right. And so, overall, I would say anyone can be involved in football at all, but you need to be invested. You can't just pitch up and think it's easy, because it isn't, and that goes to show.
You've mentioned the fans, which is extremely valid, but also I feel for the players.
Oh, absolutely. Because
you're going to feel, if you don't feel secure... I mean, being on the transfer list is a very big insecurity, whether it was a glitch in the matrix or what. But just in terms of there not being stability, or things are constantly changing and evolving, you could be the most, You could be the most flexible and adaptable person that there is, but that's still going to affect your game. That's still going to have an impact. Also, I just want to rewind again. This is why it's good that I've got a notepad. Just on something that you said, Lewis, because I think you didn't mean it how you said it. And I just want to clarify for listeners. You said, however people have made their money. Obviously, Lewis doesn't mean anything bad.
Oh, yeah. As in, sorry. I mean...
Just no gangsters,
no, I mean legal people that are all involved in good works. Now, I'm going to quote here because Tom Nichols, the League 2 striker now playing for Gillingham, came out and said this. So I've got the quote. So suppose that apparently the club received an offer for him on December 2nd. That was when the offer came in for Tom. And he hasn't played since then. So there was a lot of speculation supposedly about when he was going to be going and what was going on with him and stuff. No one was really sure what was happening. Now, he actually came out and said, "It's a day that's been coming for a little while, as everyone knows. It's a strange one, but it's exciting to get over the line in the end. I knew I wasn't allowed to play from the Swindon game. I was training as normal that week and I was in the team." Oh, and there's an ad that's popped up. That's really unhelpful. Stop, go away. Right, I'm back. Sorry. "I was training as normal that week and I was in the team to play. And then I got told after training that day they had accepted an offer for me from another club and I couldn't play anymore. They didn't want to risk injury and stuff like that. It was a strange one because I still wanted to keep fit and train. So the point is, he didn't know he was going to leave. So that to me is very, very strange.
Do you even ask? Does a player even get a say?
Well, this is the weirder thing. Wait for this. The club they agreed with initially to be sold to wasn't Gillingham, but then later it went on as they got in contact with us. I met the manager and we went from there. So supposedly he was really looking for. Yeah, this is to sum it up.
That just sounds as though these crypto guys have had an offer for money and they thought, bingo, yeah, we'll take it, without even actually looking at where the guy was going, if the guy would want to go, what it would mean for the club and the play. They've just thought money.
This is what he said. At the time, I was not asking to leave at all. I was just playing as normal. We had a new manager in charge, Matthew Etherington, who had just come in and was looking forward to that. I never asked to leave. When the club tells you you're not going to play anymore and they had accepted an offer for you, I felt I had no other choice. My decision was made for me. That says it all. That to me is weird. To come out and just boot out your star striker. But this is the point I'm coming back to. So to kind of wrap it all up, we'll have to wait and see, because I am sure that actually this will cause some sort of sparks in League Two. Because
I hope it's investigated.
It might. Well, we'll have to wait. I mean, I don't think it will, because the transfer was legal and there wasn't anything dodgy with it because they went through. The point is, again, it's just toxic ownership. And like so many other clubs, there are owners that come in that just think they can boss people about and do stuff like this, saying they're going to be different and edgy and whatever. But actually, it's like what you're really doing is just turning a club on its head and you're causing fans to get upset. Imagine right now, okay? Imagine if all of a sudden Mo Salah stopped playing for Liverpool. I mean, take it as an example. Mo stopped playing.
Don't even say it.
Out of nowhere. And then our owners come out and say, oh, we're really sorry he's being sold to whoever. Like, to our rival.
I mean, the thing is, I'm aware that there's a few people who used to love boxing but have stopped watching it. I was having this conversation with someone the other day, have stopped watching the sport and following the sport because of all the politics and all of the stuff that goes with it. Football could become like that, and that could deter people from being fans.
Yeah.
Also, on the note of Liverpool, sad news, we didn't get Jude Bellingham.
Oh, there's still time. I don't think we're going to anyway. But
apparently we didn't.
No, but
it was confirmed last night.
No, it's go from goal. That wasn't true. We did sign Cody Gakpo though, absolute legend, a winger from the Netherlands. Big signing, very very excited for that. And we got him off Man United, so it should be. Yeah, he is a good player. I'm excited to see Cody Gakpo play for us. But everyone, that wraps up episode 5 of the Sports Dummies podcast. If you have enjoyed, please do drop us a message on our email, as we've said earlier. Or if not, leave us a comment on YouTube if you're there. Any sports you'd like us to cover over the next couple of weeks, please do let us know. Any bits that we're going to miss, I'll make sure to get some content from AS Roma as well. And for all of those, have a lovely new year. Thank you so much for listening to us over the past year. It's been an absolute blast. We've been all over. We've covered all sports, from big niche stories all the way up to international things, and we've spoken to all sorts of legends throughout the world of sport. So thank you so much throughout 2022 for your continued support, and bring on 2023.
I also just want to add thank you so much to all of our guests who have come on. We love hearing your stories and we would love to have more guests on. So if you're up for it, give us a little message. And also, at the end of the year, it's nice to have feedback. So if you are listening to this or watching it and you've got a suggestion for us, we won't bite your head off. We're happy to hear it. So please drop us an email, sportsfordummiespodcast@gmail.com. But be constructive. Don't just say it's rubbish.
All the love, people. Hope, as always, you're a legend. And I'm so glad we keep doing this. Let's keep smashing it.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah. That's why we do this broadcasting, because we can't sing. Bye, everybody.
Speak for yourself.